What if the real problem is not the age gap, but the fear of people who never dared to live honestly? What if this kind of relationship feels wrong to society only because it exposes their own regrets? Now, let us begin calmly. When a woman is older and the man is younger, people immediately assume imbalance. They imagine weakness, manipulation, or immaturity. But Stoic philosophy teaches us to examine facts, not assumptions. Age does not automatically create wisdom, and youth does not automatically create foolishness. Character does. Marcus Aurelius ruled an empire, yet he constantly reminded himself that power means nothing without self-control. In the same way, age means nothing without emotional maturity. A younger man can be calm, disciplined, loyal, and thoughtful. An older woman can be curious, flexible, gentle, and open, or it can be the opposite. Age does not decide this. Daily choices do. Society often believes that a man must lead and a woman must follow, and that age should support this script. But Stoicism does not support scripts written by crowds. It supports living according to nature and reason. And nature shows us something interesting. Connection happens through alignment, not hierarchy. Ask yourself honestly, have you ever met two people of the same age who were completely incompatible? Of course you have. And have you seen people with large age gaps who share deep respect and calm understanding? Yes, even if society pretends not to see them. Marcus Aurelius wrote that we should not waste time arguing about what a good person should be, but simply be one. In relationships, this means we should not waste time arguing about what a correct relationship should look like. We should ask whether it is built on honesty, respect, patience, and growth. One of the biggest fears people project onto this kind of relationship is the fear of imbalance. They worry that the older woman will dominate or that the younger man will eventually leave. But Stoicism teaches us that control is an illusion. You cannot control another human being, no matter their age. You can only control your own actions, values, and intentions. If a relationship survives only because of control, it is already weak. A healthy relationship survives because both people choose it freely every day. Another assumption is that the younger man lacks experience. But experience is not measured only in years. Pain teaches faster than time. Responsibility matures people faster than birthdays. Some people grow old without growing wise. Others grow wise early because life demanded it from them. Marcus Aurelius lost children, fought wars, faced betrayal, and still practiced inner calm. He did not say, "I am wise because I am old." He practiced wisdom daily. That is the difference. An older woman often brings emotional clarity. She may know what she wants and what she will no longer tolerate. This is not a weakness. This is strength. A younger man who respects this is not intimidated. He is aligned. Stoicism values clarity over confusion and intention over impulse. But let us be honest. These relationships are not easy. They are not meant to be easy. Stoicism never promised comfort. It promised meaning. The couple will face judgment. Friends may mock. Family may question. Strangers may stare. Marcus Aurelius prepared himself every morning by reminding himself that he would meet rude, jealous, and ignorant people. Not to hate them, but to expect them. This expectation gives strength. If you enter such a relationship expecting applause, you will suffer. If you enter it expecting resistance, you will remain calm. Another challenge is life timing. An older woman may be thinking about stability, health, or long-term plans. A younger man may still be exploring career identity or personal goals. This is where communication becomes essential. Stoicism teaches alignment with reality. Pretending these differences do not exist is foolish. Facing them honestly is wise. A relationship works not when two people are identical, but when they respect each other's phase of life without resentment. Resentment is poison. Marcus Aurelius warned that anger harms the holder more than the target. The younger man must not feel inferior. The older woman must not feel guilty. Guilt and insecurity will quietly destroy what love builds loudly. Another quiet fear is time. People say, "What about the future?" Stoicism answers this clearly. The future is uncertain for everyone. Even couples of the same age are not guaranteed tomorrow. Marcus Aurelius constantly reminded himself of death, not to create fear, but to create presence. If the relationship is good today, live it well today. Planning is wise, obsessing is not. There is also the question of masculinity and femininity. Society believes masculinity comes from age and dominance. Stoicism disagrees. Masculinity comes from discipline, responsibility, and virtue. A younger man who acts with integrity is more masculine than an older man who acts with ego. Likewise, femininity is not reduced by age. Wisdom, emotional depth, and self-awareness do not make a woman less desirable. They make her more real. Marcus Aurelius said that the soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. If society constantly tells you this relationship is wrong, you will suffer internally even if nothing is wrong externally. Protect your mind. Choose your thoughts carefully. A relationship like this requires inner strength, not loud confidence, but quiet steadiness. Not rebellion, but clarity. The question, "Can this relationship really work?" is flawed. Any relationship can work or fail. Age is only one variable. Respect, honesty, patience, and shared values matter far more. Stoicism does not ask, "Will this make me comfortable?" It asks, "Is this aligned with reason and virtue?" If two people treat each other with dignity, support growth, and face challenges together, then the relationship is already working, regardless of age. And remember this final thought for now. Marcus Aurelius ruled Rome, yet he slept, worried, loved, and lost like any other man. Power, age, and titles did not protect him from human reality. Only wisdom helped him face it calmly. In the same way, love does not need approval. It needs understanding, courage, and truth. To understand whether such a relationship can last, we must look deeper than emotions. Stoicism teaches that feelings come and go, but character stays. Love that survives time is not built on excitement alone. It is built on shared values, self-control, and acceptance of reality. One of the strongest pillars in any relationship is respect. In an age gap relationship where the woman is older, respect must flow in both directions. The younger man must respect her experience, not feel threatened by it. The older woman must respect his individuality, not treat him like a project to fix or a child to guide. When respect turns into control, love slowly disappears. Marcus Aurelius often reminded himself that every human being deserves dignity. He did not divide people by rank, age, or power. He judged actions, not labels. In the same way, partners must judge each other by effort, honesty, and intention, not by birth year. Another quiet challenge is ego. Ego hides behind pride and fear. The younger man may feel the need to prove himself constantly, trying to act older than he is. This creates pressure and exhaustion. The older woman may feel the need to justify her choice, becoming defensive or overly independent. Stoicism teaches balance. You do not need to perform for others. You only need to live truthfully. Marcus Aurelius wrote that we should never act against our own nature. A younger man pretending to be someone he is not will eventually break. An older woman denying her needs or emotions will slowly grow resentful. Honesty with oneself comes before honesty with a partner. Time brings different priorities. This is not a problem, but it is a reality. The older partner may value calm, routine, and emotional security. The younger partner may still hunger for exploration, growth, and challenge. These differences can either enrich the relationship or destroy it. The deciding factor is communication without accusation. Stoicism teaches us to speak without anger and listen without defense. When partners discuss their future, they must not speak to win. They must speak to understand. If one person feels unheard, love turns into quiet loneliness. Another important question people raise is about long-term commitment. They ask, what happens later? Stoicism reminds us that later is never guaranteed, but responsibility still matters. Avoiding the future completely is careless. Obsessing over it is destructive. Wisdom lives in the middle. A younger man must ask himself if he is choosing the relationship from clarity or from rebellion. Is he drawn to her strength, wisdom, and character, or is he running away from his own growth? Marcus Aurelius warned against actions driven by impulse rather than reason. The older woman must ask herself if she is choosing love or comfort. Is she open to growth and change, or is she trying to freeze life at a safe moment? Love that demands stillness will suffocate both people. There is also the issue of energy. Age does change the body, but it does not automatically change the spirit. Many older women carry deep vitality, while many younger men carry deep fatigue. Stoicism teaches care of the body as a duty, not vanity. Both partners must respect their physical limits and needs without shame. Jealousy is another silent enemy. Society may flirt with the younger man or mock the older woman. If trust is weak, these external pressures will enter the relationship. Marcus Aurelius said that we are disturbed not by events, but by our judgments about them. Jealousy is a judgment, not a fact. If trust is strong, outside opinions lose power. If trust is weak, even silence becomes threatening. One more fear people often hide is replacement. The older woman may fear being left for someone younger. The younger man may fear being seen as temporary. These fears must be spoken, not buried. Stoicism teaches that unexamined thoughts become internal enemies. Love requires courage not only to stay, but also to speak honestly. Silence might feel peaceful, but it slowly poisons connection. Another strength of such relationships is perspective. An older woman often understands emotional cycles better. A younger man often brings freshness and adaptability. When these qualities meet with humility, the relationship becomes balanced, not unequal. Marcus Aurelius believed that everything in nature works together. Not because everything is the same, but because everything plays its role. Difference is not danger. Lack of virtue is. The couple must also define success on their own terms. Society will offer a narrow definition of what a successful relationship looks like. Stoicism rejects external validation. If the relationship brings peace, growth, and mutual support, it is successful, even if it looks unconventional. However, Stoicism is not blind optimism. Sometimes love is real, but timing is wrong. Sometimes care exists, but paths diverge. Accepting this does not mean failure. Marcus Aurelius taught acceptance without bitterness. A relationship should not be held together by fear of judgment or fear of loneliness. It should be held together by choice. Every day, both partners must choose to act with patience, kindness, and discipline. This kind of relationship demands emotional maturity from both sides. It demands self-awareness. It demands humility. These qualities are rare, which is why such relationships are rare. But rare does not mean impossible. If both partners practice Stoic principles, they stop asking, "What will people say?" and start asking, "Are we acting with virtue?" That question changes everything. Love that is aligned with reason is quiet, strong, and steady. It does not beg for approval. It does not rush. It does not panic. It simply endures. At the deepest level, the success of any relationship depends on one thing: inner discipline. Marcus Aurelius believed that the quality of our life depends on the quality of our thoughts. A relationship where the woman is older and the man is younger will survive only if both people govern their minds before trying to manage the relationship. Many problems do not come from age, but from comparison. Comparison with friends, with social media, with past relationships, with imagined futures. Stoicism teaches us that comparison steals peace. The moment either partner starts measuring the relationship against society's expectations, anxiety enters quietly. Peace comes from living according to one's own values, not borrowed standards. A younger man in such a relationship must develop patience, not passive patience, but active discipline. He must accept that growth takes time and that proving maturity through action is more powerful than words. Marcus Aurelius warned against speaking too much about virtue instead of practicing it. Reliability matters, consistency matters, keeping promises matters. These qualities slowly remove doubt, both from the partner and from oneself. The older woman must practice trust without fear, not blind trust, but reasoned trust. She must resist the urge to test, control, or constantly seek reassurance. Stoicism teaches that fear comes from imagined loss. Living in fear of abandonment causes suffering long before anything actually happens. Trust is a daily decision, not a guarantee. Both partners must understand impermanence. Everything changes, bodies change, desires evolve, circumstances shift. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself daily that even the strongest things fade. This was not to create sadness, but freedom. When you accept change, you stop clinging. Clinging suffocates love. Choice sustains it. Another key element is purpose. When two people move toward something meaningful together, age differences lose importance. Purpose creates unity. Without purpose, the relationship becomes focused only on emotion, and emotion alone cannot carry weight forever. Purpose can be simple: building a calm home, supporting each other's growth, creating emotional safety. Stoicism does not demand grand ambition. It demands alignment between action and values. Conflict will happen. This is not failure. What matters is how conflict is handled. Marcus Aurelius advised responding to anger with reason, not reaction. In such relationships, conflict must never turn into power struggles about age, experience, or authority. The moment age becomes a weapon, respect dies. Disagreements should focus on behavior, not identity. "This action hurt me" is honest. "You are too young," or "you are too old" is destructive. Stoicism teaches responsibility for one's words because words shape reality. There is also the matter of independence. Love should not replace identity. A younger man must continue developing his own life, goals, and competence. Dependence creates imbalance. The older woman must continue nurturing her individuality, not shrinking herself to protect the relationship. Two whole individuals create a stable bond. Two incomplete people create pressure. Marcus Aurelius believed that we should not expect perfection from others because we ourselves are imperfect. This belief creates compassion. Compassion is essential in relationships that face external judgment. Without compassion, partners become defensive and rigid. Rigidity breaks under pressure. Flexibility endures. Another Stoic principle is gratitude. Gratitude for the present moment, not fear of the future. If the relationship brings calm, laughter, understanding, and mutual respect today, that is not meaningless. Many people live entire lives without experiencing such connection, regardless of age. To dismiss love because it does not follow tradition is to reject reality for comfort. But Stoicism also teaches courage to leave when virtue is compromised. If the relationship becomes rooted in fear, manipulation, or resentment, staying is not strength. It is avoidance. Walking away with dignity is sometimes the most stoic act. A relationship works when both people become better versions of themselves, not smaller ones. The world will always have opinions. Marcus Aurelius ruled an empire and still faced criticism. If even an emperor could not escape judgment, Why should lovers expect to? Freedom comes from no longer negotiating with the crowd. Live quietly. Love honestly. Act with discipline. When a woman is older and a man is younger, the relationship does not succeed because it is unusual. It succeeds because two people choose virtue over noise, reason over fear, and truth over approval. Age is not the question. Character is. If you've ever felt confused, judged, or unsure about love because of society's rules, know this: you're not alone. Many strong people quietly carry these questions. If this video gave you peace or understanding, please like it. That small action helps this content reach others who are searching for answers. Share it with someone who needs reassurance, and subscribe if you want more calm, honest discussions about life, love, and stoic wisdom.